Well, no intro video for this one, guys. Major breaking news happened about 30 minutes ago. We just finally confirmed with sources, but it's been all over the place anyways. Totally confirmed. So Collectors is buying Beckett. The holding company of PSA is buying Beckett, the same acquisition they did with SGC. I think it was what last year. Um, I'm not gonna lie to you, this one caught me. I'm gonna pin the link at the bottom here to the stream here too. If anybody wants to comment, join, whatever, you're more than welcome to. Um, I was not. This came out of nowhere. Like we work pretty closely with PSA. Absolutely shocked. Like didn't hear a word about it ahead of time. Um, yeah. So I do want to read the acquisition too. They made the official acquisition notice here on their website. Even from London. I know. Yeah. Let me just read this again. This is right off the collector's website. Go through this just really quick. Acquisition looks to elevate the historic collectibles company while maintaining its distinct brand and operations. I do think so. A couple things too, because I want to draw some attention between this and the SGC acquisition. So first of all, while maintaining its distinct brand and operations, they put that in the title. I think that's obviously done very purposely, and quite a bit of a different feel to this compared to the acquisition news with SGC. So December 15th, obviously today's date, Collectors, a leading provider of grading and marketplace services in the collectibles industry, announced that they have entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Beckett. I am very curious if this is all of Beckett, Beckett Grading. Beckett's a massive company, so I do want to know what's going on with that. One of the most respected companies in collecting. Beckett will remain an independent brand within the Collectors family of companies, continuing to operate with its own operations, customer experience, and standards around grading, marketplace, magazine, and price guides. Okay. The acquisition reflects Collector's commitment to strengthening the hobby by supporting trusted brands that serve a distinct collector base. This edition, collectors will look to enhance. So again, now this is a little bit different. Collectors looks to enhance Beckett offerings while preserving the ability for hobbyists to choose what is best for every unique item in their collection. Again, I've got the press release and the points around the SGC acquisition just to kind of go back and forth between. A lot of different language, which I think is on purpose, and I hope that's the case. Let me just finish this real quick, then we can talk about what it means for the hobby. It says, Nat Turner here speaking. I am pleased to share that the iconic Beckett is joining the Collectors family and will continue to operate as its own independent brand within our portfolio, said Nat Turner. The first card I submitted for grading was to Beckett, and I consider collectors custodians of this important icon to the hobby. We believe that strong, well-supported brands help grow access to the hobby. Beckett is in good hands with the Collectors team, who are first and foremost hobbyists and fans, said Kevin Isaacson, CEO of Collectivist. We appreciate their commitment to the Beckett brand and their willingness to invest in the people who make it valuable. We look forward to seeing Beckett continue to build its own legacy in the next chapter. Orders at PSA and Beckett will continue to be processed normally. There will be no change in pricing as part of the acquisition. A couple points right off the bat. First off, when PSA Collectors really bought SGC, who we were sorry, I just came from the cold, and I am sniffling like a child. So, so my first point, when they bought SGC, it was a totally different feel. Right in the announcement, by the way, which again, I'm just going to bring some. I just want to draw some of the contrast to this. The key points of that announcement: the acquisition, the initial plan was they would continue operating separately. And see, this is where, again, to me, this is a major distinction, and I hope this is correct. I want to see. I mean, quite frankly, the best case scenario is that Beckett is 1,000% energized by this and just runs independently, like they're saying, and they throw a bunch of money at it. Beckett would be amazing. Like to have Beckett and PSA, like a lot of guys are new to the hobby post-COVID. Like they only know Beckett as this company that stinks now, and PSA is the only grading option, and then SGC kind of made a blip for a little bit. Before, like pre-2020, it was Beckett and it was PSA, and they were very much hand-in-hand competitors. Like very much so. Beckett was just as legit. A lot of things came back, I mean, faster with Beckett. The resale value was very, very close in a lot of areas. If you're telling me that this move does that, then as much as people hate it and as much as I'm terrified, and I'll talk about the fear of the monopoly, I don't know if that's the right word, but the fear of that. If that's the end result, and this is going to be a huge move for the hobby, quite frankly. I mean, they'll make a ton of money doing it, but that'll be a huge move. I hope that's the case, and I hope that's why we see all the different wording and very specific wording. Again, this one, right off the bat, they will be sharing resources. It also talked that that word boutique was made was used in the initial announcement with SGC. It's going to become kind of a boutique brand, and we're going to be losing a lot of resources. This is a very much, at least, again, take it for what it's worth. That's all I can do right now. This is very much more of the fact that, like, hey, right off the bat, we're going to strengthen that brand. It's going to operate completely independent. There's no talk here about sharing resources. I hope that's the case. I really do. PSA, by the way, we're always upfront about this. PSA is a massive sponsor of ours. We work very, very closely with them. Like, that's not going to change. I'll tell you right now, if Beckett becomes SGC in 6 months, absolutely terrible and horrible. Like, that would be the worst thing that we could see. Although Beckett's not all that legit right now as an option, Beckett is still the number 2 option in my mind for sports cards right now. So there's always, the fear of monopoly, the fear of lack of options. Terrible. I like that I like that I'm seeing different wording. Like, that's all I can say right now. I'm glad that it's not like the SGC announcement where it's, hey, we're going to start using resources. Hey, they're right there. Excuse me. We're going to be moving people over, and we're going to make them boutique. We also saw Peter step away from that immediately. The talk here is that everybody will stay in place. I hope that's the case. Like, that's all I can do at this point is hope. They're in with GameStop already. It does look like all grading roads will lead through PSA and through collectors at this point, which, again, I can live with if Beckett is going to get back to its former glory. So, the Fanatics talk, we'll see. People said the same thing. Like, hey, Fanatics is... The market says that, see, Trivia, whatever, makes a comment here. Let me just highlight some of these comments. I've been ignoring them. I apologize, guys. The market says that BGS is number 5 for sports cards. I don't know anybody who grades with anybody besides PSA right now for sports cards. And if they do, they grade with Beckett. Like, I don't know who's actually grading cards with CGC for sports cards. And if you are, you're lighting your money on fire. I hear about Tag and other things. I don't know anybody who uses those guys or actually buys them. So I don't know. I know that Beckett was the dominant brand in grading for years. That started to change right before COVID, and that really, really changed at and after COVID with PSA. So we'll see. The thought, I will say too, because a couple of guys have said this too, that, hey, this is the reason. What is it? Dad of 2, Fanatics, I agree, is likely the next grading company. Maybe. I don't think so. And then somebody else, same thing. Fanatics will now start their own grading company. A couple guys commented beforehand they're doing this so Fanatics can't buy it. Fanatics has more money than PSA. If it was a bidding war, Fanatics would have won. So I don't think that's the case. So maybe, but I don't think so. Mookie, they just learned how to write a better PR statement. I mean, it's a better statement for sure. But again, the fact that they directly address the issues with what happened with SGC, I think that was probably done purposefully. But hey, if it goes to the contrary, by the way, we'll go live again and talk about how bad this is for the hobby. On right now, though, if you're telling me Beckett is going to become relevant in grading again because now they have this infusion of cash, that's a great thing. I know there's fear around this monopoly and PSA owning everything, no question. Like, I'm with you. But yeah, like, that's kind of what I thought. MD, SGC was a buyout and a shutdown from the start. Like, right off the bat, we're going to share resources. We're going to be using their grading. There'll be personnel shifting over. It's going to become more of a boutique. That was the initial message from the outset of that. This sounds like a very different message. Again, you don't have to believe it. I don't care what people believe. I'm just going off what the statement actually says, which I think is great. Yeah, see, Flint, I think that's not even close to what they're saying here. So I don't think it's going to be, I don't think that's real. I don't think they're going to get shut down like SGC. But hey, time will tell. I did at least want to get on here and address what's happened, though, because, yeah, it's pretty amazing. And again, this is right from their own website. So we'll see. But yeah, I do think it's interesting, too, right at the beginning, while maintaining, like in the title of the article, maintaining its distinct brand and operations. I think that wording is important. A distinct operation means they're not going to be stealing personnel to keep running PSA or to run like they did with SGC. So, yeah, we'll see. And they will look to enhance Beckett's offerings. Again, the wording with SGC is we're going to look to scale down and make it boutique. This is talking about enhancing it and keeping it a viable option. So, yeah, see, again, Mookie, you're totally wrong. The statement I just read when the SGC acquisition was made, they did advertise it. We're going to use their resources. We're going to scale down operations. We're going to make them more of a boutique service. So yeah, that's a cute statement. It is not correct at all. The statement with SGC did advertise what they were going to do. So Platinum, by the way, I'm totally with you. I'm skeptical as well. Yep. If it's true, it's an awesome, awesome thing. Yeah, Mookie, I'm not wrong. I'm not giving you opinion. I just read a statement for you. So I'm not going to argue opinion and fact. One is fact, one is opinion. You're welcome to it, but oh well. Like, yeah, you're welcome to think whatever you want. So do I think it's a good thing? Only if we see Beckett actually become viable. Period. That is the only way this becomes a good thing, is if Beckett actually get infused with cash. The boutique statement, by the way, was made like the day of when they bought it. He was on our podcast making that statement. So you're wrong in the chat about that too. But I think you're right to be skeptical. I'm all for skepticism. I'm not going to go overboard yet. Like, until I see it, it would be nice to see Beckett get momentum. Beckett getting momentum would be the best thing that could happen for the hobby, period. SGC fought an uphill battle because they were a brand new company. Toward the end, they had a ton of momentum, no question. But there were a lot of people who would just never use it. So we'll see. Yeah, we've already reached out to Ryan for the podcast. We're going to try to have them on. Yeah, like Flint, that would be amazing. I mean, but like Bud Light owns Miller Lite. Like, great. Like, if that's the case and they're going to go, like, awesome. So, yeah, again, Neo, we use that term the day it was, again, you're incorrect too. Go back and listen. We use that. That was on our podcast before it was in print anywhere. So, not correct. Maybe in print months later, but that was a statement they used immediately with us in the text messages and emails we got, and we shared that immediately. So, Coke and Pepsi aren't the same. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, Mookie, you're just a troll, and that's fine. Again, they said it to us. We read it pretty publicly day of, but I'm not going to sit here and do revisionist history with an unreasonable person. So have fun with it. That's it. If they shut down Beckett like they shut down SGC, this is absolutely terrible. Period. It would be brutal. No way around that. If they get Beckett up and rolling again, it becomes a real number 2 option. Amazing. Like, that is as simple as it could be. But yeah, if their plan is just to scale it down, if they're going to go against everything they've said here and really shut down Beckett, horrendous. I hope that's not the case. So, yep, we'll see. But that's the news. We reached out to I mean, we confirmed, but nobody was making statements to us today. We got confirmation from everybody ahead of time, which is why we're a little bit late with the article. We'll see. I have no other useful information right now. And yeah, that's my opinion. This could be either really, really good or really, really bad. So, yeah, Platinum. I mean, honestly, if in the next, like, if that's what we hear coming out, that they really shut things down like that, sponsor or not, that's a terrible move for the hobby. Absolutely terrible. We'll see. Yeah, that's another point too. Who was it? Jimmy. Yeah, I can't believe no one else could have bought Beckett. I do wonder what I wonder what they bought, because Beckett's a massive company. It's not just the grading. Like, Beckett has a piece in a ton of different things in the hobby. So I'm curious what they did. I interviewed Ryan on the channel. I know who he said boutique. Okay. Oh, you know when. Yeah, that was the initial word we heard when we first spoke to him. So, PSA was threatened by Beckett because they didn't I don't think PSA was threatened by Beckett. Yeah, that seems wild to me. I don't think there was any threat. Beckett's been dying on the vine for a year? I mean, for real, for at least a year. Pretty bad. I mean, the last couple of years, it's been a decline. I mean, SGC was doing triple the numbers of Beckett. So, and yeah, I think that's probably right, Will. As of right now, we haven't said nothing about changing, but I would think that that's probably the case. So, yeah, like, why wouldn't you match and have it be the same standard? They bought it to change a news cycle. I don't know. That seems like a lot of money to spend on a story that a couple of us YouTubers are talking about and nobody else is. So, yeah, we'll see. Beck was being used for tens and black labels. Yeah, very, very possible. Boutique was 6 months ago and they bought SGC over a year ago. Yeah. Not the first time it wasn't, but I'm not going to argue with you either, Neil. I actually like you, so. Oh, wild hobby consolidation. No, I mean, here's the reason we won't see that. Like Ruben just came out very, very publicly and said that, like, they're absolutely not buying him now. They have no interest in him. And that article that they just released too was at the Athletic had the EBITDA that was actually confirmed they were sharing incorrect data with buyers. So the fact that Ruben went on the record and hadn't for so long, I don't think there's any chance we see that. I'd be absolutely shocked. But Neo, by the way, you're welcome to join if you want to jump on for a minute, or anybody else in the chat. The link is pinned to the top for the StreamYard. But yeah, I've seen nothing else here yet. All I see is that same story for right now. So, like I said, if we get a statement, if we get anybody to come on the record and talk a little bit more about what they want to do, we're for sure there. Like we'll have them on. We'll talk about it, good news or bad news. We'll try to share what we hear from anybody. Does Panini stand a puncher's chance to win the antitrust? I guess type 2. I'm sure there's at least a chance. Like I don't think they'd waste the money if they didn't think they had a shot to at least win some money. I don't know what it does though. Like everybody who we've talked to from the legal field is like antitrust is a preventative thing, and you try to go after damages. So I guess I don't know. And that news article that came out last week about the different numbers is pretty damning. So yeah, Neil, you're on tonight, right? Yeah, I think Neil will be on tonight with his live on here. I thought someone said that earlier. Oh, I don't know anything about it. I'm just going off what I read, Flint, that we had a lawyer on to talk about it. So, yep. Why do you think they would invest in Beckett to make? I mean, again, I just wonder, like, if the sentiment from a lot of people is they're not using PSA, buy Beckett, revamp it a little bit. I mean, a lot of people loved Beckett back in the day. Like Beckett had, again, I don't think everybody remembers the following Beckett's all I graded with pre 2020. I had literally never one time submitted to PSA before 2020. I mean, even through subs, we used Sappy back in the day in Texas. That's all he did. Like all he did for us back then was BGS. It might have even been after 2021 when the pod started. The pod started like late 2020. So yeah, I don't think we ever even. I had never submitted. Oh, Neo's on at 7:45, by the way, guys. So yeah, we'll see. Gut instinct goes in a direction that's displeasing. I really hope. I hope that's not the case. Will, yeah, if that is, that's a really really bad thing for the hobby. And just to be clear, and you can hold me to this, if we see Beckett over the next 3 months really scale down in production from where it is, horrific. And there's no walking that back. Sponsor, not sponsor, I don't care, us or anybody else with a microphone. If Beckett slows in the next 3 months, that's horrific for the hobby. Period. If Beckett sees a revamp and starts really ramping up action again, that's great for the hobby. That's where I'll leave it. I hope that's the case because otherwise it's bad. Yeah, could they scale down anymore? I mean, I don't think so, but yeah. Always a chance, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. CGC is holding on for dear life. Here's the thing, Cody James. CGC, though, makes so much money in the other fields. I don't think CGC needs anything with sports, and they're totally fine as a company. They absolutely crush comics, TC. I've never used them. I'm not in the grading field, but that's the only good thing with them. CGC has, and they have BlackRock money in there already. CGC is not going anywhere. And they grade it. Like, look at their numbers on a monthly basis. Massive. So that's a good thing. What's tough, though, is they're not competitive with they're not competitive at all with in the sports grading, at least. So yeah, that's what I mean. I totally agree. I don't think I think it's a nice bonus for them. I also don't know anybody that buys and sells CGC slabs for sports. I know they're an authority in the other areas, but yeah, I don't think sports is really a big thing for them. So Haley, that's a big question. Yeah, that's one I want to get an answer to. What did they buy? Beckett grading. I mean, there's Beckett grading, there's Beckett media. Like, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know. So, yeah, like I said, as news breaks, we'll definitely try to at least share the news. Yeah, Flynn. That I didn't know. I didn't know who was grading. Was so Flint, was Beckett big with TCG stuff before CGC? Yeah, that I didn't know. I have no clue. I've never paid attention to it. So only the idiot to spit on cards grade sports. Yeah, that's what I mean. Nobody grades with CGC for sports. Not really. Um, that'd be funny. Make Dr. Beckett, bring him back, have him be the PR guy. Yeah, so Flint, you know more about that than me. I don't know who was doing what with TCG before CGC. I just in the last couple of years I pay a tiny bit of attention. I just see their numbers. Um, so maybe that's a play for Beckett if they were the ones beforehand. They had a massive grading with I oh, interesting. Yeah, see, I didn't know that. Beckett was a TCG authority and they took over. Okay. So maybe you try to make a push there as well. I just know the best thing that could possibly come out of this is Beckett becoming relevant sports cards again. So I hope that's the case. Time will tell. But yeah, if not, man, that's a tough look. I also start to wonder too, like, what does that cost you if you're not just going to buy him to try to make money? SGC was in a different situation financially. Like with Beckett, I don't know. I really hope that's the case, but I don't think I have anything else useful to say. Some would argue I didn't say anything useful in the first place, but just to recap it quick for the people who just jumped, we're up to 100 people now. Appreciate you guys hanging. Of course, this came out right after the pod too. So yeah, here's the statement again, just to kind of give you a couple my takes, which are, I mean, again, just my opinion. The title acquisition looks to elevate the historic collectibles company while maintaining its distinct brand and operations. Take that for what it's worth. There's obviously way different language here than with the SGC thing. With SGC from the start, it seemed like they were pretty content to get rid of them, even if it wasn't on the record. Some of it, it did seem that way. Yeah, the fact that they're talking about, again, to me, some of the things that they say, it'll continue to operate with its own operation, customer experience, standards around grading, marketplace, magazines, and price guide. Hopefully that's the case. A couple just quotes in here about Nat, how we love Beckett coming up. No change in pricing at this point in the acquisition. We'll see if that changes down the road. So PSA should try moving all their TCG business. Yeah. I mean, not a bad plan either. So that's it. So yeah, for now, there's your headline. Collectors buys Beckett. Hopefully we have more information over the next. Honestly, I'm hoping we get some more information tonight. Like Nat's been pretty outspoken. I'm hoping we can get him on. So company everyone hates get big. Yeah. Yep. So hopefully that's the case. I guess my other question too, let's just go down the rabbit hole for 2 seconds and I'm going to jump. Let's say they do shut down Beckett and they go down the SGC route where they really scale back. What next? Like because I know a lot of people in the chat, at least it seems like, are very anti. Like, do you just not, man? Like, do you go with CGC? I've never had a reason to grade with them. Again, I'm a sports guy only, so with TCG it's a different animal. But with sports, I've never seen a reason to do it. SGC, I mean, even if they shut down Beckett, I cannot imagine going back to SGC now. I will still grade my sets. Like I have you can see a bunch of the sets back there. Those will always be in SGC holders. I just like the look of it, but I'm never planning on selling that. Take resale value out, I would still use SGC for a lot. But man, yeah, I'm not sure what else the other options would even be at that point. Yeah, Will, I guess you're right. Like you need somebody else to elevate as a viable alternative. We just haven't seen that. Yeah, Flint, I kind of agree. Again, for certain things, I know people like them a lot. Yeah, the upcharges, I should know this and I don't. I'm trying to think of at what point upcharges even kick in. I mean, 99% of cards are not getting an upcharge, so I don't think that's going to be that doesn't really change. What's up, Bob? CGC has to flex its experts. Yeah, again, though, Bob, like we mentioned earlier, they make so much money in everything but sports. I don't think they need to do anything on the sports card market side to be successful. I think they're printing money hand over fist with everything else. Vintage cardboard, what does it do to the BGS slab value? I mean, it didn't do anything for SGC. Quite frankly, SGC's probably dropped in value since, so I don't think it has any effect. Like if I have a Beckett holder now, I don't think it's worth more all of a sudden. I don't think it does anything for it. Unless we see Beckett as a whole start to really get back to where it was, then we would. But Unless that happens. Today, it doesn't do anything. You tell me Beckett becomes relevant again, which I really hope is the outcome here, then maybe we see slabs be worth more going forward. Jeff Wilson supposedly tried to buy. Dude, I would love to know the price tag on Beckett. Like, I know they've been floundering the last couple of years. That had to be a massive, massive acquisition price. I don't think anybody without real money was. Yeah, I don't think that was. I wouldn't think that was even realistic. PSA buying Beckett shows them not allow anyone to compete with them. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, sure. Like, if you're going to buy competition, I just hope they keep that competition going. I go with whoever gets me the most money for the slab. Let's be honest. Yeah, one of one. Enough people don't say that, but it's absolutely true. Resale value is the most important thing in grading for the majority of people, which is why PSA is the best right now. Pretty simple. Like, it's not even close. Kenny, I'm rooting for you, buddy. I hope that Aaron Judge is yours going forward, man. Beckett becoming relevant will only be as a surrogate to PSA. It will never be what it was, given that it would trend to PSA. Yeah, it will. But even if they could just be a good number 2, that's a huge win. I'm not saying they're going to overtake him, but I would think it would be back. Like, I obviously, like, you just bought the company. Them being way more profitable and coming back, I would think would be an awesome thing. They also still grade autograph. Like, I always like their autograph authentication service. I mean, I would hope that would be like something they push more. Get a group together and compete. No, I'm small potatoes, homie. Antitrust case against them. I just don't know how it would. Like, CGC grades 1 billion cards a month still. Like, Tag is great. Like, did you see the Tag numbers? Tag's grading tens of thousands of cards a month. I don't know how it could be antitrust, but who knows? People can sue for whatever they want. Is it time for Washington to step in and do what? Like, regulation's another word. We love to use the word. It doesn't mean anything. I don't know what. Like, show me another market where that's used that's not a financial service and actually regulates. I would just be shocked. And by the way, nobody ever wants regulation about anything ever. You cannot convince me that if that came in, people would not just go crazy about that. Like, they would absolutely lose their mind. So we're just buying a rebrand of PSA like Adidas stocked as Puma. Yeah, we'll see. John, that is a good point. Is this why they stopped group subs? Are they going to, like, revamp how they were doing group subs? Because I would think if nothing else, you would want that submission service to be the same, but they're going to continue to operate independently, according to the article. So, but yeah, I would agree. I think collectors will have an in-house competitor is nonsense. Beckett grading squashed. We'll see, Terrence. I don't think so, but we'll certainly see. What up? That's Carlos, right? Mike, there's a lot of departments with Beckett. That's, to me, is the biggest question too, Carlos. What else did they buy? Did they just, like, fraction off and buy the grading side, or did they buy the whole thing? Because Beckett as a whole, like, Beckett owns Southern Hobby, which is a huge distributor of gaming, comics, all that stuff. They have the media side, which is still massive. I do wonder what this all entailed. So, yeah. Anyways, Kenny. Bring in the... Oh, nice, man. Yeah, keep it up, dude. Wonder how Steve Grad feels about this. Well, there you go. And then BGS will have a slab option. I'll drop them in within 2 quarters. A mere slab design. Yeah, I guess. We'll see how they're integrated. I guess I don't know. I'm also would be curious. Again, according to this, they're going to keep running like they were. I would imagine subgrades stay the same. Like, why would you get rid of subgrades? That's been the biggest thing going for Beckett all along. That's why I always say, like, apples to apples, take everything else out. The only company that's ever given you subgrades and information on the grade is Beckett with its 4 subgrades. How that has not, and they have no upcharges on big cards, how those 2 things don't propel you, and you have the biggest name recognition and a huge head start. Beckett was a name forever in this hobby. Those 3 things, name recognition, subgrades, and no upcharge, how those 3 things didn't propel you to be competitive always. I know they've been a mess at the top over there, so maybe that's why, but man, that is wild to me that they haven't been more successful. Yeah, Jordan, we're talking about this, the wording here and the announcement's very, very different than SGC. I'm hoping that that's the case then, is that they don't mess around with it. So, yeah, so that's it. I'll share the screenshot one more time just so people can see, and then we'll get out of here. But yeah, basically the breaking news in a nutshell. By the way, 135. I feel like Neo right now. 150 people in a live. That's never happened ever. So thanks for coming and hanging out. There you go. Collectors to acquire Beckett. Again, according to this press release that they made on their own website, they're going to continue to let it run and operate within its own operation, and then to strengthen and support the brand and try to rebuild it. that is what it says. We shall see if that happens. But that was the announcement for now. So we will, we'll keep you posted as we hear more stuff. What do you continue? I don't say anything to Beckett right now, but if Beckett pricing, if resale pricing started coming back, absolutely. 1,000%. Yeah. Like I think the hobby needs that. SGC is not a viable company right now to use. It's just not. I use them for my sets once a month for the cards I pick up, but SGC is not a viable grading option. So, yep, I'm aware, Jordan. We already went over all that. Yep. And I'm saying I hope and pray that this is different. So we also, again, were told day of that it was going to change pretty immediately. That just wasn't the public message. On this one, even behind closed doors, the texts and emails we've gotten, which I've only gotten 2, were very different. So, Bob, thanks for not coming in here and roasting me. Bob, one of the OG GOAT commenters of all time, by the way. So appreciate you hanging out. That's it. We're being repetitive at this point. We'll keep releasing stuff as we hear it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. By the way, if you care at all, massive release week. Cosmic Baseball comes out Wednesday. Topps Chrome Basketball on Thursday. We're breaking and going crazy, and we're doing a whole new launch over on Fanatics Live. So we'll have it said 7,500. It'll be closer to 10 grand worth of giveaways, free Cosmic boxes, free breaks, all that type of free stuff. So Fanatics Live Sports Cards Nonsense is the channel. If you want to go over there and break and sub your cards to PSA with us. Zing. That's not true. Not yet, at least. So anyways, appreciate everybody hanging out. We'll get this posted up, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be live tomorrow at some point. Goodbye.